All right, let's talk airports. There's a hidden science behind your whole experience, and today we're going to pull back the curtain on it. We're going to look at a pretty unique channel run by a real industry insider that shows all the meticulous planning that goes into, well, everything, from how long that security line is to why the departure gates are where they are.
I mean, we've all been there, right? One day you're stuck in a confusing, nightmarish airport with endless lines, and the next you're just breezing through one where everything feels seamless. So what's the secret sauce? What's the thing that really separates a frustrating travel day from one that's surprisingly pleasant?
Well, it turns out it's not just luck. There are actual professionals whose entire job is to perfect that experience. And today, we're getting a peek into their world, thanks to a knowledge-sharing channel called Airport Service Quality Vietnam. So what exactly is this channel? First off, it's not your typical travel vlog or a bunch of online reviews. No, you should think of it more like a professional knowledge hub, a place designed to really unpack the science and the strategy behind running a modern airport. At its very core, it's all about this big idea: airport service quality. And this isn't just about friendly staff. It's the whole shebang. It's a complete look at your entire journey, from the curb to the gate, and all the complex systems working behind the scenes, tracking everything to make sure it's constantly getting better. The channel really breaks this down into three key parts. First, you've got airport service quality itself. That's the what they're trying to do. Second is customer experience, or CX. That's the who, how we as passengers actually feel about the journey. And third, service management. That's the how, all the nitty-gritty operational stuff needed to make it all happen. But here's what makes this channel so unique. It isn't just the topic, it's who is creating the content. See, this isn't just some theory. It comes from a very specific and very credible point of view. And this is the crucial point. The insights you're getting are from an industry insider, an actual airport service quality practitioner. So this means the information isn't coming from a passenger looking in, but from a professional who's part of the system, working to make it better from the inside out. It's a really rare and valuable perspective. And this quote pretty much perfectly illustrates the channel's mission. It takes all that dense, technical language of professional aviation standards and, translates it into something we can all actually understand. The goal here is to give us clear, practical insights, not just a bunch of dry facts. So you might be asking, why go to all this trouble? Why create a whole channel just to decode the passenger journey? Well, the purpose is to demystify a process that, let's be honest, can often feel totally chaotic and impersonal. The channel explains this with something called the airport service life cycle, which is basically a continuous loop. It starts with design, that's them planning, say, a new, faster security process. Then comes delivery, when they roll it out for passengers. Next is evaluation, using data and surveys to see if it actually worked. And finally, improvement, taking all that feedback to tweak the process. And then the whole cycle starts right over again. Okay, so we know the who and the why, but what about the what? What does the content actually look like, and what is it all based on? This is really key. The content on the channel isn't just based on someone's opinion or preference. It's grounded in globally recognized benchmarks and best practices that are used all across the aviation industry. And yeah, we're talking about the real heavy hitters of the aviation world. You've got ACI, the Global Council for Airports, ASQ, which sets the gold standard for passenger service, Skytrax, who you've probably heard of from their yearly awards, and IATA, the association that represents the airlines. Grounding the content in these frameworks gives it some serious authority. And here's a taste of how that information is organized. You'll find videos explaining core concepts, like how they model passenger flow. There are deep dives into the customer experience, and even explorations of common service gaps, like why the baggage claim area always feels so crowded. And for quick learning, they have these short educational videos called 1-Minute Airport Insights. All right, and finally, the channel makes a very important disclaimer, just to make sure they're setting the right expectations with everyone watching. The channel is super clear about its role. It is a personal educational resource from an industry practitioner. What it is not is an official voice for any airport authority or organization. And that distinction is absolutely crucial for its objectivity. At the end of the day, the goal here is to transform confusion into clarity. It's all about taking the complex, tangled system of an airport and sharing knowledge that helps you finally understand the method behind the madness. It's education, not promotion. And that brings us to our final thought. Armed with this kind of insider knowledge, what are you going to see on your next trip? Will you notice the subtle design cues in the terminal? Will you think about the data being collected to improve passenger flow? The next time you're in an airport, you won't just be a passenger, you'll be an informed observer. So what will you notice differently?